We did chapter 8.
Okay. I'm Mary.
I'm Geneva.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Stephanie.
And we did chapter 8, Managing Conflicts Productively. And first I have what is a conflict. And a conflict is an expressed struggle between at least two interdependent parties who perceive incompatible goals. And it occurs when discordant ideas or feelings are expressed or experienced between two interdependent parties. So basically when people disagree. It doesn't necessarily need to be a negative thing, it's just disagree. Should I do everything?
Let's do everything. Go for about a minute or so.
And,
Give it,
and then I'm going to present the myths. Myth 1 of conflict is that it's harmful and should be avoided, when in reality conflict can really be a beneficial thing, and it doesn't always have to have negative connotations. It can really help further understanding in the group. Myth number 2 is that conflict represents misunderstanding or a breakdown in communication, and some conflicts occur over differences and values, goals, or limited resources. Myth number 3 is that conflict can be resolved if parties are willing to discuss the issues. And sometimes that's just not true. Sometimes conflict will never be completely solved, and that's okay. You sometimes just have to agree to disagree.
I'm Geneva, and I did types of conflict. A task conflict is a conflict resulting from disagreements. Relational conflict is a conflict resulting from personality clashes. And conflict types and computer mediated communications is conflicts that occur like on the internet. So if you take an online class and you have to do something with a group, conflicts that have to do with that. Next slide. And then I did conflict management styles. The styles are avoidance, which is showing unwillingness to confront somebody, just avoiding them. They're pretty self-explanatory. Accommodation is just accommodating somebody, just like, okay, you're right, let's not argue. Competition is when somebody else might be right, but you want to be the one who's right, so you make an argument out of it. Collaboration is showing preference with somebody, like if you prefer to work with one person over the rest of the group, then you collab with them. And compromise is giving a little and gaining a little, so you just talk it out and figure it out. And here's Hannah with working with conflict management styles.
So I found that there are going to be different situations where you choose which conflict management style to use, but it's important to make sure that you are using approaches that are integrative, which helps all group members integrate their goals and needs to the conflicts. This helps the group to create norms for how to successfully handle conflict with each other. It is also important that the group collaborates and compromises on how to solve conflicts when issues arise within the group members. Finally, when choosing which style to use, make sure all group members agree that it is appropriate and effective. And here is JT with expressing disagreements ethically.
Yeah. To discuss conflict responsibly. I didn't really practice, so. Expressing disagreements ethically. You need to discuss conflict responsibly, so that means talking it out and make sure that nothing bad happens, I guess. And then you have to exercise an open mind, so be open to others' opinions about the conflict that has arisen. And then use nonviolent communication, so don't get in a fist fight over nonchalant things. And then embrace the difference, so maybe take little and give little from other people's perspectives. Then know when to agree to disagree. So know when you're right and know when you're wrong. Who's next? Here's Taylor.
The nominal group technique is a technique that alternates between individual work and group work to help a team hear from every member when discussing a controversial issue. The steps start with the problem is stated, and then 2, the coordinator asks participants to generate a list of characteristics of the problem or question. The coordinator gives the group up to 15 minutes to work silently. And 4, each suggestion is then listed and recorded in a chart so all members can observe. 5, the members clarify the items. Number 6, each person chooses his or her favorite top ranked items. Number 7, group now engages in a full discussion of the top ranked items. And now, number 8, the decision is reached. Now, here's Stephanie.
Okay, principled negotiation is a conflict between management procedure that encourages people to search for ways of meeting their own needs without damaging their relationships with others. And it's used collectively with a designated leader or a designated facilitator to make sure everything is going smoothly. And the steps for principled negotiation are separate people from the problem to avoid conflict, focus on interests, not positions, and invent new options for mutual gain, and lastly, insist on using objective criteria.
Finally, it is important to solve conflict appropriately and to include all group members' ideas. Although you may not like your group members' ideas, it is important to still stay open-minded because their problem-solving method and yours combined will equal a shared resolution of conflict. This in turn will bring your group members closer and finally form a stronger problem-solving group.
Thank you.
Yay, all right.